gamya mrityorma amritam gamya, means, O Almighty, lead me from untruth to truth, lead me from darkness to light, lead me from death to immortality. A very good morning to Honourable Vice-Chancellor Sir, Dr. B.R. Kamboj, esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, respected keynote speaker, Dr. Sujay Rakshit, distinguished officers of university, respected deans and directors, esteemed members of teaching and non-teaching staff, dear students, and all our valued participants. It's my immense pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the SPARC-sponsored International Conference DPCFC-SAAI 2026, hosted by Chaudhary Charan Singh, Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar. This prestigious conference aims to deliberate upon deciphering the potential of climate-resilient functional crops for sustainable agriculture and agro-industries, a theme that resonates deeply with global agricultural sustainability goals in the era of climate change. To invoke the blessings of the Almighty and mark the auspicious beginning of this conference, may I kindly invite our Honourable Vice-Chancellor Sir and all other dignitaries on dais for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp.
खड़ा उधर ही
Hail, deity Sharda. Om Shardai Namah. Thank you, respected dignitaries, for illuminating not just the lamp, but the path of knowledge and wisdom. Now I request everyone to kindly rise for Vande Mataram, a tribute to our motherland. Jai. That's just a test of your patience by the Lord and Almighty. Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala, Sufala, Marayajashitala, Shastya Shamala, Mataram, Vande Mataram. Shubhrajotsanam pulakitayamini Fullakusumita drumidalishobhini Suhasini Sumadhurabhashini Sukhadam Varidam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram Bharat Mata ki Jai. Thank you for your patience. Please be seated. Hospitality is a reflection of our culture. I would now most respectfully request our Honourable Director of Research, Dr. Rajveer Garg, to kindly present the bouquet to esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva. It is our privilege to humbly invite our respected Dean, College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Rajesh Gera, to present a bouquet as a token of warm welcome to our Honourable Vice-Chancellor, Sir Professor B.R. Kamboj. Sir, I now request you again to kindly present the bouquet to esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Sujay Rakshit. Dr. Gera. Now I again request Dr. Gera to kindly present the bouquet to Director of Research, Dr. Rajveer Garg. Now I request Dr. Jayanti Tokas, HOD Biochemistry, to kindly present the bouquet to respected Dean Sir, Dr. Rajesh Gera. My heartfelt thanks to all of you. To formally welcome the August gathering, I invite Dr. Rajveer Garg, Director of Research, Chaudhary Charan Singh, Haryana Agricultural University, to deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Very good morning. The dignitaries on the dais, Professor Somnath Sachdeva ji, Chief Guest of the Day, Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Sir, you are also the Vice-Chancellor of MD University, Rohtak. Professor B.R. Kamboj, worthy Vice-Chancellor, CCSHA, Hisar. Dr. Rajesh Gera, Dean College of Basic Science and Humanities, and you are the organizing secretary of this conference. Dr. Sujay Rakshit, Director, ICR, Indian Institute of Agricultural Biotechnology. You are also the lead speaker in this session. Our national and international delegates, Dr. Craig McGill from Massey University, Dr. Devaki Nandan from University of British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Peter Kelly, Dr. Navtej Singh Benz, Dr. Naveen Gist, Dr. Dharampal, Dr. Sivraj Hariram, Dr. Jasveer Singh, Dr. Parabjit Singh, and all dignitaries of the dais, my officer colleagues, faculty of CCSHA Hisar, all delegates, guests and students participating in this international conference, all those present in this hall, I welcome you one and all on the behalf of the organizers of this conference. CCSHAU is organizing this Spark-sponsored international conference on deciphering the potential of climate-resilient functional crops for sustainable agriculture and agro-industries in collaboration with Massey University. It is a 3-day event from February 25 to 27. This workshop, sir, is on functional crops, means crops which offer health benefits and have strong therapeutic value. These are the crops which have the potential to address some of the lifestyle diseases. These crops remain underutilized and their potential use is yet to happen. The extremely pleasant weather of Hisar will definitely help us to deliberate constructively on climate resilience of such functional crops. Agriculture is central to food and environment, nutritional security, human health, rural livelihoods, environmental sustainability, and resilience to climate change. Today, ensuring global food security, showing nutritional quality, sustainability, equity, and long-term stability of agri-food system. India faces the dual challenge of enhancing productivity in a cost-effective manner while making agriculture a viable and attractive profession for the younger generation, particularly in the face of climate variability, rising input costs, and shrinking land holdings. This conference is meant to address all these issues. So the title of this international conference has a very important expression, climate resilience. What the climate resilience means in the context of functional and underutilized crops. It implies that domestication process is still incomplete in these crops, with their survival and perpetuation largely in natural habitat. As we shall move towards the realization of their potential through full-scale domestication, the first system liability will be the genetic erosion, with consequential erosion of their inherent climate resilience. Here our objective should be to reconcile the domestication process with much larger genetic diversity and preferably to undertake their production with least external interferences. In case we have the diversity of varieties in crops, diversity of crops in cropping system, diversity of farm enterprises in farming system, the whole system is most likely to be climate resilient. The diversity is the first and foremost guarantee of climate resilience. Climate resilience is not only technological phenomena, but also the policy paradigm and real-time managerial intervention. February this year is comparatively hotter and we are expecting heat stress in Rabi crops. In case we can mitigate the heat stress through preferential supply of canal water and preferential supply of power in tubal irrigated domain, this is a policy paradigm in climate resilience. In case the crop maturity happens on early date and we are able to use the enlarged temporal window for an additional crop, this becomes the real-time managerial mitigation. Hence, it is a complex phenomenon which requires multi-stake and multi-pronged approach. So, this is the 4th international conference being organized by CCSHA in a span of 2 years under the dynamic leadership of Professor B.R. Kamboj, worthy Vice-Chancellor CCSHA. The previous 3 international conferences proved grand success with meaningful takeaways and actionable points. Your participation in such a big number will ensure the success of this conference as well. So one of the 3 previous international conferences on Vision 2047, Prosperous and Great India, that was organized in New Delhi, under the joint leadership of Professor B.R. Kamboj and Professor Somnath Sachdeva. Both Kurukshetra and CCSHU were the co-organizers of that conference that happened in New Delhi. It is a great privilege and pleasant feeling to be with the scientific gathering of this stature. Today we have world-renowned eminent scientists with us who are authority in their respective fields. It is my profound honor to introduce and welcome our chief guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, the Honourable Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University and also MD University, an eminent academician and a visionary leader in civil engineering. Professor Sachdeva brings over 37 years of rich experience in teaching, research, administration, including a distinguished tenure at NIT Kurukshetra. Under his transformative leadership, Kurukshetra University achieved the prestigious NAC A++ grade and emerged as the pioneer in successful implementation of NEP 2020. Sir, you are the recipient of Outstanding Vice-Chancellor of India Award 2025. We are privileged to have such a stalwart of higher education among us today. It is a great privilege for the organizers and participants that person of such great standing, stature and vision is the chief guest of this inaugural session. I welcome you, sir, and your kind presence and message will motivate the participants to do something good for a noble cause, as is contained in the title of this international conference. I heartily welcome you, sir, and I'm thankful that you have spared your valuable time for us. I also welcome our worthy Vice-Chancellor CCSHU, Hisar, Professor B.R. Kamboj, who has the beacon of light in the small journey of organizing this international conference. He is the person who inspires through his excellence, and under his able guidance, university is constantly steering ahead and touching new heights. CCSHU has got A+ grade for the first time under your leadership. The university is leading from the front under your leadership in the field of agriculture, research, education, and extension, and has adopted entrepreneurship as its fourth mandate. So the university is moving fast in the development of sustainable technologies for different crops, cropping systems, and farming systems. The university has developed climate-resilient, resource-efficient cultivars in almost all crops. The university has provided the full-scale technologies portfolio on water-saving, integrated nutrient management, integrated pest management, organic natural farming, food processing, and functional food. It is the technology portfolio of CCSHU which has almost resolved the problem of pedestal burning in the state of Haryana. And state is fast approaching to become the zero residue burning state. Some of our facilities like integrated farming system, agri-tourism center, agri-business incubation center have been accepted in the policy paradigms of the state union at national level. To keep pace with the changing time, entrepreneurial skills are being inculcated among our students so that they become the job givers rather than the job seekers. Sir, your constant cooperation and support, making every event a grand success in the university is highly appreciable. The university bagged the prestigious 6th National Water Award under your leadership. The university has included most of the potential functional crops in the research portfolio and will soon come out with concrete recommendations on their cultivation, processing, and beneficial uses. We heartily welcome this. I want to convey my deepest appreciation for the foreign delegates attending this event. Your presence makes a difference and we are truly grateful. Your support and participation meant a lot to us. The conference has attained the character of international conference because of you. We welcome all of you, sir, to this inaugural function of this international. As an organizing team, we sincerely hope that this conference will be able to meet its objective, will provide the participants an opportunity to share their experiences with the renowned scientists of the world through its well-structured theme. It is expected that after the conference, we will be able to generate some concrete actionable points for research institutions, government, corporates, and all other stakeholders. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank the SPARK program of the Government of India for providing valuable financial support for the successful organization of this international conference. Towards the end, I once again extend my heartily welcome to all the dignitaries, delegates, sponsors, collaborators, and participants from India and abroad who have accepted our invitation and have come up from long distances to participate and deliberate in the said conference. I also welcome press and media personnel who have given due publicity to this event before and will be providing good coverage in the next 3 days. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and encouraging words. To provide insight into the vision, objectives, and expected outcomes of DPCFC-SAAI 2026, I will now invite Dr. Rajesh Gera, Dean COB&S&H, to address the gathering. Sir.
So, very good morning to all respected dignitaries, distinguished scientists, international delegates, faculty members, research scholars, industries partners, and dear students. It's a matter of immense pride and privilege to welcome you all to the SPARC-sponsored International Conference on Deciphering the Potential of Climate-Resilient Functional Crops for Sustainable Agriculture and Agro-Industries, being organized from February 25th to 27, 2026 at CCS, Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, in collaboration with Massey University, New Zealand. I extend a warm welcome and respectful welcome to our chief guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, Honourable Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, and Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. His distinguished academic leadership and invaluable contributions to higher education are truly inspiring and serve as guiding light for academic fraternity. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to our worthy Vice Chancellor of CCS, Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, Professor B.R. Kamboj, who has been the key force behind the organization of this conference. Sir, under your visionary guidance, the university has undertaken remarkable initiatives and achieved new milestones in academic innovation, research excellence, and institutional growth. I also take the opportunity to warmly welcome our eminent international and national scientists, Dr. Sujesh Rakshitji, Director ICAR, Indian Institute of Agriculture Biotechnology, Dr. Craig McGill, Massey University, Dr. Devaki Nandanji, University of British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Peter Kelly, Knowledge Exchange. The conference receives an impressive 1,617 abstracts reflecting strong research engagement and active participation from the academic community. Overall, the event serves as a dynamic platform for intellectual interaction, collaboration, and dissemination of innovative research findings. This conference marks the third major academic event under our prestigious SPARC-sponsored international collaborative project titled Assessing Environmental Influences on Seed Quality, Tannin, and Antioxidant Properties of Moringa. First international workshop was also carried out from 17 to 26 September 2024, in which the title of that workshop was Unlocking the Potential of Moringa and Opportunities for Global Health and Climate Resilience. Second international conference was also organized between 25th November to 8th December 2025, entitling Understanding Environmental Influences on Moringa Growth, Seed Quality, Antioxidant, and Tannin Properties. This workshop was focused on experimental methodology, environmental variability, biochemical characterization, and quality trait analysis under diverse agroclimatic conditions. These scientific interactions have not only strengthened Indo-New Zealand collaboration, but also fostered interdisciplinary integration across biochemistry, plant physiology, molecular biology, food science, and agro-industrial research. I am grateful to share some major achievement under this SPARC-sponsored project, that they have published 2 comprehensive training manuals and 1 monograph. They have published 2 peer-reviewed research articles and filed 3 patents. 1 has already been published and 2 are under process. These outcomes reflect our collaborative commitment toward translational research, innovation, and technology dissemination. Today, though DPCFC-SAAI 2026, we aim to extend our discussion beyond Moringa and focus on other climate-resilient functional groups that can help solve important global challenges such as climate variability and abiotic stress, nutritional insecurity for human beings and livestock, sustainable agro-industrial development, value addition, and bio-based economy, farmers' income enhancement through functional group crop diversification. This conference provides a dynamic platform for scientists, policymakers, industry experts, and young researchers to exchange ideas, share cutting-edge research, and develop actionable strategies for sustainable agriculture. As we gather here, let's remember that climate resilient crops are not merely research subjects, they represent hope for the future food system, environmental sustainability, and global health. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the SPARC under the Ministry of Education for their initiative in supporting this international collaboration, to our esteemed partner of Message University New Zealand, and to all the organizing members, speakers, sponsors, and participants who have made this event possible. I firmly believe that the discussion over the next 3 days will foster strong collaborations, inspire innovative research ideas, and generate meaningful outcomes that contribute to sustainable agro-industrial development. With these words, I once again welcome you all to this DPCFC-SAAI 2026 and wish the conference a great success. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai.
Thank you, sir, for outlining the roadmap of this important international platform. It is now my privilege to invite our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Sujoy Rakshit, Director, ICL Institute of Agricultural Biotechnology, to share his valuable insight. Dr. Sujoy Rakshit.
Very good morning to one and all present over here. Today's chief guest, Professor Sachdeva, or the Vice-Chancellor of this university, Dr. Kamboj, dignitaries on the dais, faculties of this esteemed university, my colleagues from my previous institute, IAMA, and dear students, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I thank the organizers for giving me this honor to be present here to deliver this keynote address. But I must confess that when Dr. Jayanti sent me the invitation, it was for a lead talk. And lead talk generally remains very specific. And keynote address generally becomes a bit general in nature. So, but at the last moment, I didn't want to change my topic. So I'm sticking to my topic. May I have a cordless or something? Because from here, I'm not able to see the... Anyway, so when I was visitor, I must say that, towards end of financial year for any director to come to leave the institute is very difficult. But when this invitation came, I knew that the invitation was from you. So I gladly accepted, and I'm very much thankful to you. Okay, when we are talking about functional foods and climate resilience, I think quite often we talk about the common crops, common commodities. But today I'll be talking of genome sequencing of two ignored commodities. One is wing bean, that is a crop species, another is Arunachali yak. So to put the things under context, whatever achievements we have made, starting from crop food grains to fish, it has placed India in the global map. We are the largest producer of milk, pulses, tea, spices, jute, and many other commodities. We are second largest in terms of wheat, rice, fruits, vegetables, and sugarcane. We are among the top net exporters. When we started our journey in 1947, we are the importer. We all know that we are totally dependent on the PL 480 to USA in terms of food subsidy. But now we are net exporter. Our export stands to around $48 billion, and this sector is growing over 4% annual growth rate. Now, if we look at what our position globally, and we compare ourselves with our nearest competitor, we are one of the most populous nations in the world. But 3 points I'd like to highlight, which I have shown in red color. Our per capita food grain production is one among the lowest. Our per capita availability of land is one among the lowest. Our per capita availability of water is one among the lowest in the world. And this is a matter of big challenge because we'll have to feed this huge population. As we envisage, we are now currently under the Amrit Kal, We envisage to become a developed nation by 2047, but these are the figures before us, that we'll have to feed 1.6 billion population with all these numbers before you. Again, I highlight the land availability, which is currently around 0.13 hectares per capita, it will come down to 0.09 hectare per capita. Water availability, which is currently 1500 cubic meter per capita, it will come down to 1200. Contrary to that, if we need to feed, we'll have to increase our production for every commodities. Food production is currently 330 million ton. We'll have to go to 594 million ton, roughly. And if you take any commodity, whether it is forage, whether it is milk, whether it is fish, whether it is egg, every production will have to increase substantially. The major challenge is that we'll have to feed additional 220 million population by 2050 with finite resources and changing climate. And this, again, we all know that our population is increasing, our available land is reducing, available water is reducing, and the climate is changing. So under that situation, genomics is going to play a significant role, whether genomics or biotechnology or omics technologies. But if you look at, majority of these things are concentrated with the major commodities like rice, maize, wheat, in case of crops, in case of animals, mice, cattle, pigs. But whenever we take any underutilized commodities, they are performing much better in a harsher condition. So they are source of different adaptive traits. So here we have focused on two commodities. One is wing bean, another is yup. Coming to wing bean, many of us may not be knowing. I'm very happy to note that on Moringa there was international workshop and other things. But this is a crop which is tropical or subtropical in nature, generally grown in Kharif season, and it is quite a long duration crop. But if you look at its protein content as well as oil content, we talk about soybean, it is almost comparable to that. In addition to that, it is the only legume crop which produces tuber. And the rhizome size is one among the highest among the all legume crops. So it has a lot of potential, but it has remained unutilized. Till that, there was no systemic studies to understand this crop. So this calls for cytogenetic studies first, and to then go for genomic studies. So first, we started understanding its chromosome, which particularly we have totally forgotten the cytogenetics. We developed the karyotype. We studied the idiotype of the chromosome. Then we went for estimation of its genome size. There are a lot of contradictory reports available, but finally taking the rice genome as a reference for which we have all the information, we estimated that its genome size is around 711 megabase. Then we went for sequencing the pipeline which we followed. We used AKWD1, one variety, which is quite popular as a starting point. We did PacBio long read sequencing. For short read sequencing, we used Illumina sequence. Then we went for high sequencing or optical analysis to make the config. And then we went for gene prediction using Barker pipeline. Now, these are some of the statistics. We showed that out of 710 megabase, which is its genome size, we could go up to nearly 700 megabase. And if you see the Busco plot, there is completeness of nearly 98% of the genome which we could cover. Now, after knowing the sequence availability of the scaffold which we got, we try to see that whether we have been able to complete each chromosome from telomere to telomere. So we try to see or hybridize or look at the presence of the repetitive sequence of telomere-specific repetitive sequences. And we can find that in all the cases with the vertical bar, it is the presence of the telomeric sequence in the sequence which we have generated. And you can find that all the cases, the both end of the chromosome, we have got the telomeric sequences, except chromosome 8 and 9. We got some signals, but that signal is certainly not that big. So in this, we can say that we could complete the telomere to telomere sequencing of this particular species. So then we went for gene prediction. So total we could predict around 50,000 genes present. Out of that, around 53% are homology, is having the homology with known proteins, and 26% remain quite unique. It may be for biological function, it may have cellular function, it has molecular functions. So these unique genes which we could identify, some of them can be very candidate genes for understanding adaptation or the nodule formation or the tuber formation in this particular species. We found that when we studied different pathways we studied, but here I am particularly highlighting the fatty acid biosynthetic pathway. And we found that it has got a particular structural lipid diversity is quite specific in this particular crop, and which we understand that they are giving the membrane stability and signaling, which is specifically giving the resilience to this particular crop. And these can be candidates for understanding the mechanism of drought or stress tolerance in the other crops as well when we proceed further. We also try to understand the presence of repetitive sequences, and we found that 60% of the genome is having repetitive sequences of various types. It may be small RNA associated to low complexity regions. And these SSRs which we identified, this can be used effectively for marker selection or different genomic studies in this particular crop. I'm not going to the details of this circus plot, but if you focus at the center, where this curve shows the what is the duplicity of the genomic region within the genome, you can find, and if you compare this circus plot with other legume genome sequence which are already available, you will find that this duplication within genome is quite less as compared to the other legumes. So in all the other legumes, which I will show shortly, the duplication is quite high, but this particular crop has retained its originality to a large extent. So when we compared, we went for comparative genomics with other legumes, we find that glycine species, they are having this orthologous gene cluster quite different from others. The rest others, particularly this our candidate gene, that is which is shown as PT, is having homology with Vigna radiata as well as Scajanus scajan. When we went for species-specific cluster counts in legumes, which can help us to identify that what are the unique gene families in each species, we found that this wing bean are having 1,358 unique clusters, and totally it has got around 23,000 clusters, but out of that 1,358 are very much unique to this particular crop. When we try to project this along with this other legumes, we find that there were 928 orthogroups which are common to across all the legumes. That means these are highly conserved across the legumes. But this particular species is having around 1,300 plus unique clusters. And these are the genes which can be candidate to understand the unique properties which is there in this particular crop. So we also try to see the phylogenetic relationship, and here you can find that though it is very close to glycine max or glycine sosa, but there are significant gene gains happening in case of glycine species, but in case of wing bean, there is very minimal gene gain presence. When we try to compare the synthetic relationship of with glycine vis-a-vis wing bean, we found that the glycine lineage underwent significant amount of duplication, while there is not much duplication within wing bean genome. So this clearly indicates that wing bean is still clusters closely, but there is core set of legume genes are present across legumes, which I already mentioned in the previous section. But the genes which are linked to domestication, they have not been duplicated that much in case of wing bean as we compared with glycine, because this is not a domesticated crop. So if we try to understand that what are the genes contributing towards domestication. These are type of unique species which have not been domesticated to that extent as compared to other crops. We need to focus on them so that we'll be able to identify those genes, and then we can deploy them in our crop improvement program. We also completed the chloroplast sequencing, and we identified what are the genes present, what are the SSRs present. This work has already been published in BMC Plant Biology. And we also identified all the genes which are present in the chloroplast. And based on that, when we did the comparative genomics, we find that there are many genes which are quite conserved across the legumes, which are shown in red color. But there are certain genes like YCF1, they are very much divergent across the species. So again, these are the genes which are giving some specific adaptation. We also found that the gene order among the legumes, if you compare this wing bean, which is shown at the top, it has maintained a very unique gene order as compared to other legumes which are much better domesticated. So when we did the phylogenetic analysis and the time analysis, we found that Arachis hypogea, that is groundnut and wing bean, they got separated around 70,000 years back, and others have diverged much before that. So this is something giving us an indication that what is the pattern of evolution in this particular species. Similarly, we also completed the genome sequencing of the mitochondria, and all the figures are before you. And when we did the phylogenetic analysis using the mitochondrial sequence, and we compared the gene order again across the different legumes, what we found that it was when we were focused on the nuclear genome, we found that wing bean has evolved through duplication and gene expansion. Rather, I say that other legumes have evolved through the process, but wing bean has retained its originality. But there is significant amount of structural rearrangements within the mitochondrial genomes across the legumes. But since we know that mitochondria has a specific function, their overall functionality has remained as such. So there is a synchrony between across these legumes is up to 90%. So this is again a unique orientation. Now, when we understood that what is the structural genomics of these different legumes, we also try to see that what is the functionality. There we try to use some machine learning to understand that whether there is any codon usage biasness, and using those, we could very easily differentiate the genes between chloroplast and the mitochondria, and what is the codon biasness present in this particular organelles. Now, with this, we can summarize that it has got 18 chromosomes. Its genome size is around 210 megabase. It has got nearly 49,000 genome, and there are the chloroplast genome size is around 151, and the mitochondrial genome is around 366. So we concluded that wing bean is closest to glycine species, and there is no evidence of recent whole genome duplication within wing bean, but other cases it is there. Then organelle genome, when we focused, we found that there is another layer of stability, and the genome shows that there is a distinct gene order among the legumes, and there is duplication in gene expansion, and the mitochondrial genome changes mainly due to structural rearrangements. And this clearly shows that we can, if we focus on this type of underutilized crop, we can identify certain genes which has helped us help these crops to get adapted in a harsher condition. So this multi-genome assembly establishes that wing bean is a genomic reference for exploring the legume evolution, the domestication, and metabolic adaptation. Now I'm coming to the other commodities. Again, it is very less explored. That is yak. Many of you know that yak, when we talk about Himalayan region, Tibetan region, yak is a lifeline. And this Arunachali yak, it has recently got the GI tag. And this particular entry which is there. This is the first yak breed which got registration, and then we try to see that this particular Arunachali yak is very much predominant in the Arunachal tract, and it is one of the, it's part of their culture. So we took up this particular breed because there was no genomic information available. Though from China there are some reports available, but from India there was no reports. So we took around one 6-year-old female yak, and we tried to initiate the genome sequencing, and we could generate nearly 87 gigabyte data, and we conducted all these pipelines which I already discussed. The major finding what we found, the total there were 63 scaffolds, and the total length was 2.85 GB, and the genome size of again yak has already been estimated like that. And total we got those 63 scaffolds, the major scaffold were 30, which is equates to the 29 autosomes and 1 X chromosome which is there. We found that this N50 value as well as the Busco plot is quite acceptable. There is quite we could cover the nearly 96% of the genome, and the repeat content, as in Wingbill we found around 60%. Here we found around 45% genome is having a repetitive sequence, and we could identify nearly 26,000 genes we could predict, and out of that nearly 82% we could relate with already reported genes which are there. We also conducted the isoseq analysis of this sequences which we found, and we could place nearly over 2 lakh full-length transcripts in different tissues. And we also identified nearly over 4,000 long non-coding RNAs in case of yak genome. So this got published in scientific data, but we didn't stop there. We tried to go for development of high-density SNP chip. So there we took short-read sequences, Illumina short-read sequences from 160 samples, and packed bio sequences from around 48 samples, which represents from Arunachal, Ladakh, Sikkim, and Himachal. And then we went for trimming, then alignment, variant calling, filtration, and LD pruning, so that we can identify informative SNPs, and we can put them in a high-density chip which we're about to develop. And with this, we developed this Shal-Yak4 yak HD SNP chip, which is having nearly 795,000 SNPs embedded there. Out of that, over 1 lakh, nearly 2 lakh, I should say, SNPs which are very much associated with various traits. Generally, for this, we conducted the GEO studies. We also took around 16,000 SNPs which are specific for different reported genes. For that, we mainly use this particular report from China, and we have embedded all of them in this high-density SNP chip, which was dedicated to the nation by our Honourable Agriculture Minister on 14th of December last year. So now, with this SNP chip, what we wish to proceed, we want to go for bark-assisted breeding for improvement of yak. This will also help us in the conservation and management of the parentage verification in the yak herd which we are having, and we can really create climate resilience by understanding the genetic mechanism of high altitude adaptation. You know, as the climate is changing, sometimes the temperature goes very high, sometimes the temperature is going very low. So how we can get adapted to this changed environment, as well as the temperature is going up in the plains. Similarly, that is happening in the different altitude also. Then we need to move up. Then how this adaptation can happen? Then improve health and disease resistance by identifying genes linked to disease resistance in this particular species and the species which are related to them. And translational medicines. You know, in human case, hypoxia-related issues are quite common. Our soldiers need to go to a high altitude to defend our countries, and they have the problem of hypoxia. We need to transport material to support our soldiers. There also our animals face different type of hypoxia related issues, and this is an animal which is very much adapted to high altitude. So we can understand this mechanism of hypoxia resistance, and we can use them in other crops. Then suddenly, if we can adopt all this, then we can go for sustainable improvement of this particular species. So with this, we would like to say that this type of underutilized species, whether it is a crop, whether it is an animal, they have several adaptive genetic variations which are very much present there. But when we focus traditionally in our genomic studies or all studies, we focus on our available whatever livestock or whatever crops we are available, who are optimized for productivity under controlled environments. As a result, they are not retaining the alleles which are required for resilience when we talk about climate resilience. So these are the key, and this type of initiative we need to take up in more number of such commodities. Today morning only, when I was discussing with your dear, he was also mentioning that these type of underutilized crops, underutilized commodities needs to be focused on. So if we can develop this type of resources, we can go for diversification of food system. Like wing bean is not very much present in our food system. India is a country which is having a lot of dearth of fodder, but it can become a very good source of fodder. Then sustainable intensification, because when they are already develop a resilient variety, then they can fit very well in a sustainable ecosystem. Then the environmental footprint which we are living, that can be reduced, and we can go for livelihood security. So with this type of studies is very much required, as I was repeatedly mentioning, because if we want to justify the title of this symposium or this seminar, that we need to develop sustainable systems, and these are the commodities which are key in this whole process. With this, I once again thank the organizers and all of you for your patience hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address and provoking perspectives on climate resilient agriculture mix. Thank you, sir. We are deeply honored to have with us our chief guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, Honourable Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, and Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. May I now request him to kindly address the gathering, Dr. Sachdeva.
Honourable Vice-Chancellor of this esteemed university, Professor B.R. Kamboj, the keynote speaker, whose very enlightening address we just had, Dr. Sujay Rakshit, Director ICAR, Indian Institute of Agriculture Biotechnology, Ranchi, Dr. Rajesh Garg, Dr. Rajbir Garg, and Dr. Jayanti Tokash, distinguished delegates from our country and from different parts of the world. I find there are certain eminent personalities sitting in the hall, maybe from SC University, Canada, or other countries, and all the participants of this international conference on a very relevant theme. The conference theme is Deciphering the Potential of Climate Resilient Functional Crops for Sustainable Agriculture and Agro-Industries. it is relevant in the sense that climate change has already started affecting the food security, and it's becoming an issue in the Arctic and the subarctic regions of the world. And it is very important because we all need to find out the answer to these challenges, the challenges of the climate change and the food nutritional security in the time to come. We all know that green revolution in the country marked a historic milestone in achieving food self-sufficiency in the country. However, the excessive and the indiscriminate use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and other similar kind of agriculture inputs have spoiled the health of our soil. It has led to groundwater contamination and biodiversity loss, and many other similar kind of problems. In this context, the transition towards climate resilient and functional crops is not merely desirable, but essential as well. Climate resilient crops, what I understand, I may inform that I don't have any background of, say, the agriculture or this particular theme, but as a common man, what I understand that I'll be talking to you. My background is that of a civil engineer, and that's specifically a transportation engineer. But in my university, we have a very strong life sciences department. So that is my connection with this particular topic. So the climate resilient crops are the crops that can withstand abiotic and the biotic stresses in a better way. Abiotic stresses mean that are able to withstand the dry periods, the heat, the floods, the salinity of the soil, and the biotic stresses in the form of pest attacks and the various kind of the related diseases. And the functional crops are the crops, what I understand is that, which in addition to the basic nutrition provide us some kind of extra nutritional values, like we have got our own millets, jowar, bajra, ragi, and so on. Because these crops, they have got better nutrition, they have got better bioactive compounds, antioxidants available, rich in calcium, iron, fiber content, and provide better protection against diseases like diabetes. In 2023, UN declared the year as the International Year of Millets, and very rightly our Prime Minister, Honourable Modi ji, named these millets as Shri Ann. So not only these millets are the coarse grains, but they are the smart grains also because of these additional benefits that they provide to us. We can have them where the water availability is less, in the, say, more heat kind of environment. So they are environment friendly also, and we call them as Shri Ann, the Ann which is better than the other kind of anns or say other kind of the grains. That is why this name is given. Likewise, we can have, say, quinoa, saijan, puttu in our own language, what we call them. and many other crops, as very rightly mentioned by our keynote speaker, through the gene sequencing, we can explore the lesser known crops also for the better use of the mankind. A few days back, I visited one of the rice shellers in adjoining city of Kurukshetra, Karnal, by the name Chamanal Sethia Exports Limited, Rice Export Limited. I was surprised when I found that some researchers from IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi, they were working there as their employees. You see, it's a rice sheller. We can never think of that some kind of research will also be taking place in these rice shellers. And the owner of the rice sheller told me that they are developing a new variety of rice which is going to be rich in calcium and vitamin D, because these are the usual deficiencies that we notice these days in the human beings. And I am told that they are experimenting presently with one variety of rice. They have already done the experimentation. After 3 months of this diet being given to the persons, there is a lot of improvement in the functioning of the heart, kidney, and the liver. They showed me the pictures of the rodents on which these experiments have been done. Before the diet was given, the pictures of the heart, liver, and the kidneys, and 3 months after that. And apparently, there appears to be a lot of improvement. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the time to come, you will find many these kind of varieties of different crops that we will be able to club into the category of the functional crops. If we try to relate these crops with the agro-industries, then we find in the time to come there are going to be a lot of opportunities in the sense that we can have processing food industries in the rural areas itself. There are a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship and leading to employment generation. India at the moment has the largest youth population in whole of the world. Just in the age group of 15 to 29 years only, we have almost 37 crores of youth present in the country, much more than the population of many of the countries in the world. And it's a big challenge for us to provide employment to all the youth. So this is one area wherein we look for, wherein this international conference theme is going to be helpful in generating opportunities for entrepreneurship in the form of agro-industries. So this is how we find that it's going to be useful in that sense also. And as envisaged by our leadership of the country, our Honourable Prime Minister, that by 2047 we have to become a developed nation. We have to become a great and prosperous nation again. Then we need to find out these kind of opportunities, employment opportunities for our youth, which we have in very large number available in the country. The Government of India, through the scheme of promotion of academic and research collaboration, SPARC, has taken significant initiatives to strengthen international academic and research partnership. And this particular conference is also being organized with the collaboration of SPARC under these initiatives. As far as this university is concerned, Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, has played a significant contribution in transforming the state for subsistence agriculture to surplus food production. The university has consistently played a vital role in technology development, dissemination, climate resilient innovations, natural farming promotion, and value chain strengthening. And in the introduction, when it was told that the university has bagged several awards also for their efforts in this direction, and 6 of these awards have come during the tenure of present Vice-Chancellor, Professor B.R. Kamboj. Professor B.R. Kamboj, I really congratulate the whole of university through you for all these kind of achievements that we have. I'm informed that this conference will deliberate extensively on its central theme, focusing on advancing climate resilient and sustainable agriculture systems. The scientific technical sessions will encompass key domains including biochemistry, plant physiology, and stress biology, genetic improvement, crop production, protection and sustainable farming, horticulture sciences, with special emphasis on climate resilient fruit and vegetable production, biodiversity and ecosystem restoration, fisheries, aquaculture, and the blue economy. It is encouraging to learn that more than 600 participants from across the globe are taking part in this conference. Such wide participation reflects the growing global concern for sustainable agriculture transformation. I appreciate the organizers for thoughtfully conceptualizing the multidisciplinary forum and for identifying the relevant, need-based and forward-looking themes for deliberation. I firmly believe that the insights, recommendations, and collaborative outcomes emerging from this conference will make a meaningful contribution towards strengthening food and nutritional security, promoting environmental sustainability, and fostering inclusive and resilient agriculture growth. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers and my best wishes for the grand success of this conference. In the end, I will conclude by saying that the future of agriculture not be decided merely by how much we produce, but by how wisely we produce, how fairly we distribute, and how sustainably we consume. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, regarding this consumption part, which is very important, there is one verse in Srimad Bhagavad Gita which talks about Yukta Ahar Viharasya. Yukta Ahar Viharasya, that is Santulit Khan Pan, your balanced, nutritious food, and Sayamit Jivan Shaili, restrained lifestyle, which is very important. By adopting these restrained lifestyles and maintaining moderation in our eating habits, we can all contribute to the specific objective of this conference as well. I express my gratitude to Professor B.R. Kamboj and all the organizers for giving me this opportunity to talk to this galaxy of stars, stalwarts in their field, experts and researchers. Thank you very much, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your visionary address and motivating words. Now it is my proud privilege to invite Professor B.R. Kamboj, Worthy Vice-Chancellor of this university, for the presidential address. Honourable Vice-Chancellor, sir, Professor B.R. Kamboj, I request you, sir, for the presidential address. Respected Vice-Chancellor, sir.
Thank you very much. A very good afternoon to all. And it's really a proud moment for me to speak on this very important international conference sponsored by SPARC. Honourable Chief Guest of the day, Professor Somnath Sachdeva ji, Honourable Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, as well as Honourable Vice-Chancellor of MDU Rohtak. Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, today's keynote speaker, Professor Sujay Rakshit ji, our Director Research, Dr. Rajbir Garg, Dean College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Rajesh Gera, Dr. Jayanti, our distinguished international collaborators, esteemed delegates from India and abroad, deans, directors, head of departments, eminent scientists, industry leaders, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure and profound satisfaction to welcome you all to the SPARC-sponsored International Conference on Deciphering the Potential of Climate Resilient Functional Crops for Sustainable Agriculture and Agro-Industries, being organized at Chaudhary Charan Singh Haryana Agriculture University in collaboration with our esteemed international partner, Messi University, New Zealand. This conference marks a significant milestone in our journey forward, strengthening global scientific partnerships and advancing agricultural innovation under the visionary scheme for promotion of academic and research collaboration. SPARC, we have been able to establish meaningful academic linkages that has transcended geographical boundaries. Such collaborations are not merely institutional arrangements, they are shared commitments to address some of the most pressing challenges confronting global agriculture today. And much has been discussed about our keynote speaker also, and Professor Sachdeva has also highlighted some of the points that what are the ways where we have to go and how we can proceed further. Agriculture across the world stands at a critical crossroads. Climate variability, rising temperatures, erratic rainfall patterns, and the increasing frequency of extreme weather events are exerting unprecedented pressure on farming systems. Simultaneously, we are witnessing depletion of natural resources, degradation of soil health, declining water tables, and growing biotic stresses in the form of emerging pests and diseases. In this context, scenario ensuring food security alone is no longer sufficient. We must strive for nutritional security, environmental sustainability, and economic viability in equal measures. And that's very important. Everybody knows about that. It is within this larger global context that the theme of this conference assumes great relevance. Climate resilient functional crops represent a transformative approach to agricultural development. These crops are not only capable of withstanding abiotic stresses such as drought, heat, salinity, and submergence, but are also enriched with superior nutritional and industrial traits. They embody a holistic vision combining resilience, productivity, nutrition, as well as market value. As our university, we have consistently prioritized need-based and farmer-oriented research, our scientific community is deeply engaged in advanced breeding strategies, molecular and genomic interventions, stress physiology studies, nutrient use efficiency research, and value addition initiatives through market-assisted selection, genomic prediction, and precision phenotyping, our researchers are accelerating the development of varieties that can thrive under changing climatic conditions. These efforts are complemented by agronomic innovations designed to optimize input use and enhance sustainability. However, scientific progress must ultimately translate into tangible benefits for the farmer. That's the key. If you want to say something, if you want to popularize something, if you want to have some dividends, ultimately farmer must grow, must grow. And it's responsibility of all of us that whatsoever we are doing, that again be beneficial for the societies. And that's the key. Because there are many issues which we can discuss during deliberations. The interest of farmer toward agriculture. We have to make it profitable, and that's why we are here. There was a time when resource was not the dearth for our country. We were having the enough resources, natural resources. Now our population has grown up, but our resources have declined. So when you have to ensure the food and nutritional security with the lesser resources, that's the biggest challenge. I think we can make it out, and that's why such conferences are much more important. The true measure of our success lies not in research publications alone, but in improved livelihood, enhanced farm incomes, and resilient rural communities. We firmly believe that research must move seamlessly from the laboratory to the land. Participatory varietal selection, on-farm trials, digital advisory services, and capacity building programs from integral components of our extension strategy. The collaboration with Massey University is particularly significant in this regard. New Zealand has made remarkable studies in sustainable agricultural systems, precision farming, and agro-industrial integration. By bringing together expertise from India's diverse agroclimatic systems and New Zealand's advanced research infrastructure, we are creating a synergy that can generate globally relevant solutions. This partnership reflects the spirit of shared learning and mutual growth. I am delighted to note that this conference has attracted more than 600 participants from across the globe, including eminent scientists and experts from 10 different countries. Their presence here today reflects the urgency and global importance of the issues we are addressing. Over the next 3 days, we shall deliberate upon innovative breeding tools and climate smart agronomic practices, molecular characterization, functional food development, and strategies for agro-industrial integration. These discussions will undoubtedly enrich our collective understanding and inspire new avenues of collaborative research. The concept of functional crops deserves special emphasis in an era where lifestyle-related health disorders are increasing. Agriculture must contribute not only to calorie sufficiency but also to improve nutritional outcomes. Biofortified cereals, protein-rich legumes, antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables, and especially oilseeds hold immense potential in addressing macronutrient deficiencies. When such nutritional traits are combined with climate resilience, we create crops that are future ready and farmer friendly. Equally important is the integration of agriculture with agro-industries. Value addition enhances profitability and resource reduces post-harvest losses. Functional crops can serve as a raw material for our fortified food products, plant-based proteins, and bio-based industrial materials. By strengthening linkages between research institutions and industry partners, we can foster innovation ecosystems that promote entrepreneurship and rural employment. As a leading agriculture university, CCS Haryana Agriculture University remains committed to excellence in teaching, research, extension, and now we have started the fourth pillar of entrepreneurship. We recognize that the challenges of climate change and sustainability cannot be addressed through isolated disciplinary approaches. Interdisciplinary collaboration is the need of the hour. Agronomists, leaders, molecular biologists, soil scientists, economists, food technologists, and industry stakeholders must work together in an integrated framework as the partners, not the stakeholders. Now we move from this terminology of stakeholder to partners. And that be the farmer participatory also, I think that will help us more in addressing those issues. Our students and young researchers stand at the heart of this transformation. Conferences such as this provide them with invaluable exposure to global expertise, advanced methodologies, and emerging research trends. I encourage our scholars to actively engage in discussion, seek collaborations, and broaden their academic horizons. The future of sustainable agriculture rests in your capable hands. Have a big clap for yourself, because you have to believe it. You have to just love, and ultimately everybody, be the country, be the globe. They are expecting much more from you. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainability is not merely an environmental concept, it is an ethical imperative. We owe it to future generations to safeguard natural resources while ensuring equitable access to nutritious food. Climate resilient functional crops provide a pathway towards achieving this balance. That they represent hope for the stable yields in uncertain climates, hope for healthier populations, and hope for prosperous farming communities. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizing committee for their tireless efforts in planning their conference. I also acknowledge the support extended by the SPARK program in facilitating this international collaboration. My sincere thanks to our distinguished speakers and delegates who have traveled from far and wide to share their knowledge and insight. The exchange of ideas during these 3 days will undoubtedly help in shaping practical, science-driven solutions for sustainable agriculture. Their insights will enrich our discussion and open new avenues for collaborative research and technology transfer. Some of the prominent scientists and experts across the globe are sitting in this August gathering. I must name them. That will be my privilege. Dr. Craig McGill from Massey University, New Zealand. We can have a clap for them because they have come a long way. Dr. J.P. London, University of British Columbia, Canada. Dr. Peter Kelly from USA, and Dr. Sujay Rakshit from our ICR IIB Ranchi. Dr. Navtev Singh Vance, former Director of Research, EAU Ludhiana. Dr. Naveen Bliss, NITGR, New Delhi. Dr. Dharampal, Director of Research and Dean PGS, Maharana Pratap University, Karnal. Dr. Sivraj Nede from Nadi, Mohali. and Dr. Jasbir Singh, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, and Dr. Parabjeet Singh, Gadwasi, Ludhiana, maybe many more. I can name them also. But I assure that DPCFC-SAAI 2026 will foster long-term partnerships, generate actionable recommendations, and contribute meaningfully to strengthening climate resilience and agro-industrial sustainability, not only for Haryana and India, but for global agriculture community. Once again, I welcome you to CCS Haryana Agriculture University and wish the conference great success. May our deliberations be productive, our collaborations enduring, and our collective efforts fruitful for advancement of sustainable agriculture worldwide. And I hope that the concrete recommendations coming out of this conference will really help to address the title of this very conference. With these remarks, I once again thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity. I am grateful to our renowned, worthy Vice-Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, Professor Somnath, Sujay Rakshitji, and all esteemed delegates whosoever participated in this conference, and the young minds. We need your support, your help, your enthusiasm, your dedication to education. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Haryana, Jai Sansar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your leadership, guidance, and inspiring remarks. Moving the program forward, it is my distinct pleasure to respectfully announce and request our esteemed dignitaries on dais to grace the occasion of formal release of publications. I request you all to release the manual entitled Understanding Environmental Influences on Moringa Growth, Seed Quality, Antioxidant and Tannin Properties. I also request the contributors to come on stage. Contributor also, please reach to the stage. I again request you all to release the monograph entitled Assessing Environmental Influences on the Seed Quality, Tannin and Antioxidant Properties of Moringa oleifera. I also request the contributors to come on the podium. My humble request to you all to release the book of lead papers. Contributor also please reach to the stage. Okay. I also request Professor McGill, please reach to the podium, and all the other dignitaries. Professor Kelly also, please come on the podium, sir. And others who have contributed to the book of lead papers, please reach to the podium. Now I request all the dignitaries on dais to release the book of abstracts, and also I request the contributors to reach the podium immediately. My humble request to the contributors to reach the podium immediately. My heartfelt thanks to all of you. Please be seated. To express our deep gratitude and appreciation, we shall now felicitate our esteemed dignitaries on dais. I humbly request Dr. Rajveer Garg, Director of Research, to kindly felicitate the Chief Guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, with the memento and shawl as a token of our gratitude and appreciation. I now respectfully request Dr. Rajesh Gera, Dean College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, to kindly felicitate the worthy Vice-Chancellor, Sir, Professor D.R. Kamboj, with a memento and a shawl as a token of deep respect and heartfelt appreciation. Okay, it's Rajveer Garg, Sir, felicitating the worthy Vice-Chancellor, Sir, with a token of appreciation. My humble request to Dean Sir to kindly felicitate the keynote speaker, Dr. Chaudhary Rakshit, with a memento as a token of remembrance and respect. I again request to Dr. Gera, please kindly felicitate Dr. Rajveer Garg, Director of Research, with a memento as token of heartfelt appreciation. Now, my humble request to Dr. Jayanti Tokas to felicitate Dr. Rajesh Gera, Dean College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, with a memento as token of deep respect. My heartfelt thanks to all of you. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. I now invite Dr. Jayanti Tokas, HOD Biochemistry, to propose the vote of thanks. Respected ma'am.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to all. Today, CCS Haryana Agricultural University Hisar, the university honored by India's President for water conservation excellence, transformed from storied research powerhouse to global agriculture's United Nations, hosting visionary decoding climate resilient crops for humanity's nature. So it's my distinct honor and privilege on behalf of the organizing committee and Department of Biochemistry, College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, Chaudhary Charan Singh Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar, on this inaugural session on the conference entitled Deciphering the Potential of Climate Resilient Functional Crops for Sustainable Agriculture and Agro-Industries 2026. Deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Professor Somnath Sachdeva, Honourable Vice-Chancellor, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, and Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, for gracing this inaugural session with his distinguished presence and insightful address, which has illuminated critical pathways for climate resilient agriculture and agro-industrial development. Thank you, sir. I heartfelt thanks to Professor B.R. Kamboj, Vice-Chancellor of CCS-SAAI Hisar, for his unwavering institutional support and positioning CCS-SAAI as a leader in international agricultural research collaboration. Thank you, sir. Now, my special appreciation to our distinct keynote speaker, Dr. Sujoy Rakshit, Director, ICAR, IIAB Ranchi, who has illuminated this platform and has visionary leadership in agricultural biotechnology and has transformed India's crop resilience landscape. Sir, your presence at our inaugural session elevates the DPCFC-SAAI 2026 to international excellence, inspiring more than 600 delegates with practical pathways from laboratory breakthroughs to the farmer's field. Thank you, sir. My profound appreciation to our convener, Dr. Rajveer Garg, Director of Research, CCS-SAAI Hisar, whose visionary leadership through the SPARK project, understanding environmental influences on moringa growth, seed quality, antioxidant and tannin properties has provided the scientific foundation for this conference. I thank you, sir. Then my heartfelt gratitude to the organizing secretary, Dr. Rajesh Khera, Dean, College of Basic Sciences and Humanities, and the co-organizing secretary, Dr. Akshay Bhukar, for their meticulous planning and flawless execution of this hybrid international conference. Special recognition to our deans, directors, and officers of the universities whose strategic oversight ensures seamless proceedings. I thank you all. A special and heartfelt mention to Dr. Atul Dhingra, Dean College of Community Sciences, whose lightning fast response and selfless dedication at the absolute last minute moment has turned this potential crisis into the seamless trump. I thank you, sir. Then I profound salute to our tireless day-night warriors of the organizing team who burned the midnight oil and rose every dawn to make this conference flawless. I thank you all. Then my warm appreciation to our dedicated student volunteers whose meticulous arrangements and enthusiastic support has created an atmosphere of warmth and efficiency for all the delegates. Gratitude to the CCS-SAAI administration for comprehensive institutional support in every form, the SPARK for financial sponsorship, and the Massey University, New Zealand for the international collaboration. Our sincere appreciation extends to the unsung champions working tirelessly behind the curtains, our helping staff, maintenance teams, media and photography units, hospitality, and the transport team. Sincere thanks to all the participants for making this inaugural session a resounding success. While time constraints prevents me mentioning every name individually, so please know that our heartfelt gratitude reaches every single team member whose tireless efforts made this conference possible. Your contributions are deeply acknowledged and profoundly appreciated. I thank one and all sitting here. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. May I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem. Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Uttara, Ganga, Vindhya, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uchala, Jalati, Taranga, Tava Shubha Name Jage, Tava Shubha Ashish Mange, Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha, Jana Gana Mandala Dayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya 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 He. Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Thank you. Please be seated. With this, we conclude the inaugural session of DPCFC-SAAI 2026. All of you are kindly requested to proceed for lunch, which is being served at the designated dining area. We look forward to your active participation in the technical sessions ahead. Thank you all for your gracious presence. Have a productive and enriching conference ahead.